post the batting, you need the bowling and the all-rounders. And once Hardik Pandya was not there, a lot of pressure was on Ravindra Jadeja and the spinners and the way they stepped up. But before I go into the Indian bowling, Brotindra, the Pujo behind us is Ma Kali. There is a lot of historical tradition in that sense, Durga Pujo, Kali Pujo associated with the family. Give me a sense.
Well, the founder started this Kali Puja when he was there, but actually the family had come from Pathureghata, Moldikbari, and where his uncles stay, and they used to stay. And from there they came this part of the city, and our temple, we worship Lord Jagannath. Before they used to stay there, and later on it was converted into a temple and they shifted inside the palace. He started the Kali Puja and Saraswati Puja here, and like the Kali Puja we have normally the place which you can see behind here, we have our Kali Puja, and we follow the tradition whatever he had started, and he had a very strict will that whatever the pujas he has mentioned how it's going to be carried out is everything is there in his mentioned in his will. So according that we follow that, and the family members they participate, and we have a very small family. At present we have around 15 of us. In my father's generation only 3 uncles and aunts are there, and in our generation we are 5 brothers. And so we participate along with our very close relatives and friends, and we have everything whatever there we have in Kali Puja. Like after the puja we have the Dhuno Purano, what you do, like the married lady, whoever, the lady who has done fasted the entire day, and for her she needs to do that rituals, and the rest is the normal Kali Puja we have.
Okay. And strict will, absolutely like the Indian team, a strict team, no experimentation. Kuldeep Yadav and Ravindra Jadeja, and when you think a Ravi Ashwin has to sit out, unbelievable, but there it is. That's how they've got this team together. Ravindra Jadeja and Kuldeep Yadav. Raja.
Both have been marvellous. They've supported the fast bowlers really well. Mahesh Bhupati the other day called them the Panch Pandav, the 5 bowlers. I think they're like the 5 fingers coming together and being a fist. Picked up over 80 wickets in the 9 games. They've been outstanding. But Ravindra Jadeja, especially on track where the ball does a little bit, he can be so lethal. And Kuldeep Yadav on any track has been marvellous. I think this Indian attack has to be celebrated as the best ever. We are not the only ones saying it. People who have played the game are calling this the best bowling attack India has ever had, especially in a World Cup. We can't forget Surya Kumar Yadav. He stepped up in a couple of knocks with a couple of innings when he was called to play. But I think when you go back to Jadeja and to Kuldeep Yadav, I don't think even Ashwin will envy what they're doing for India. It's truly outstanding.
Ahead of the World Cup, Brad Hogg mentioned to us about Kuldeep Yadav and how Kuldeep Yadav could be lethal. Take a look at some legends talking about Kuldeep Yadav.
I think he can. He had a great IPL this year. He's come back well, and what defines a character, what defines a person, what defines a player is someone who's been dropped, who's been out of the game. He's worked on his action. He's slightly a little higher. He's not falling away, or that front arm's not falling away as much. He's coming down more. That front arm's coming down more vertically. That's getting more revolutions on the ball. He's getting a little bit more drift as well. So he's creating a little bit of trouble. I think Rohit Sharma captains him well. And I just think there's that resilience in him. He's a fighter. I absolutely love the way he's gone about it. I love the way that he's come back in that team and just performed straight away. And I think he'll play a big part in the World Cup. I really do. And you've got that option. So there's certain teams that he's going to do well against, and there's certain teams that you might think, right, we might go with Chahar apart from Kuldeep Yadav in this. And I'm looking at Australia there. Who would I bowl, Chahar or Kuldeep Yadav against Australia? I'd actually go Kuldeep Yadav because he bowls attacks the stumps, and it brings the wrong end into the game. Whereas Chahar, he's turning away, and you can sort of sit on him and play through that point region. and if slightly over pitch, you can hit him straight. Whereas Kuldeep's got he's harder to play on both sides of the wicket. So for me, I'd play Kuldeep against Australia.
Last part of our special show here from the Marble Palace in Kolkata, one of the most iconic monuments, and the Indian team will play in the home of cricket in Mumbai yet again, one of the most iconic stadiums, 2011 World Cup final. But before that, Sharmishta, when I talk about history, I talk about preservation, I see this, I feel a sense of pride.
Yes, I feel a sense of tremendous pride as a Bengali and as a Calcuttan. You know, this is a monument of our city that we should all be proud of. And sadly, I think, with the younger generations, people are lesser aware of these structures. So, I would suggest people who see our shows also, if you come to Calcutta to watch a cricket match in the Eden Gardens, if you're a cricket fan coming to the city, do please take time out and visit these places, because they are worth it. Wherever you come from, they are worth it. And the other thing I'd like to say is we have 3 fans sitting here bleeding blue. They are looking oh so marvelous, oh so wow, and oh so wonderful.
Fabulous. And all you need to do is take permission from the government of West Bengal. The tourism department take special permission and come. That was the rule pre-COVID, and I hope that rule comes back soon. But as she said, come to Marble Palace, because here you will sense a sense of tremendous pride. When you take a look at Mohammad Shami, when you take a look at Jasprit Bumrah, when you take a look at Mohammad Siraj, that same pride, Gargi and Ishan. No more words from me. Talk to me, Ishan, first, on this Indian fast bowling trio.
I think this Indian fast bowling trio is looking just lethal because all of them seem to be working together. And I think the most important thing to mention here is that they've been taking wickets in the power play. So a lot of teams haven't done that. And the reason why the Indian team is successful is because of those wickets taken in the power play. And all of them seem to be supporting each other just beautifully. So Mohammad Shami out of the side, coming back now, bowling the way he does, is just so good to watch.
Absolutely. And one way, if we're talking about Mohammad Shami, he's holding the bowling lineup together, I believe, because he's the one bowler who bowls consistent lengths, who bowls tight bowling. It's so easy. It's such a long format. You have to bowl 10 overs. One single bowler has to bowl 10 overs. And it's easy to, kind of lose your momentum, lose your rhythm. But Mohammad Shami is looking so impeccable right now that he's kind of the strength of the bowling lineup. Of course, Bumrah in the death overs, Siraj with his pace, they've been incredible. And for the first time ever, since a long, long time, it seems like the attention is back to the bowlers. And it's not just a batter's game, it's also a bowler's game.
Also a bowler's game, and our producer is a fast bowler, so she's put together this package celebrating the Indian bowling trio, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami and Mohammad Siraj. Just so you know, Mohammad Shami, think about it, was not part of the playing 11 at the start of the World Cup. Incredible India, isn't it? Our bowlers celebrating them. And however much we celebrate Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and some of KL Rahul's efforts, if you really deep dive, it has been the Indian bowling that has stood up. And it has been an all-round collective effort from our bowlers. Take the first match against Australia. It was the bowlers who set it up against a very good Australian batting attack. Kuldeep Yadav, for example, was stellar. Jasprit Bumrah has been brilliant all World Cup. And thereafter in the match against New Zealand, Mohammad Shami came into his own. Ravindra Jadeja has been superb right through. As the World Cup has progressed, the Indian bowling attack, Bumrah, Shami, Kuldeep, Jadeja and Mohammad Siraj, not to forget Hardik Pandya when he was playing, have looked the most potent. And bowling wins cricket matches. And so far Rohit Sharma's team have been able to prove that. Even when New Zealand had run away to a very good start, 150 for 2, the bowlers came back and contained them for 270 odd. Can the bowlers, led by Bumrah and Shami and of course Jadeja and Kuldeep, step up in the knockout stages? Can they push the bar and redeem the 10-year-long gap that we have now seen that India hasn't won an ICC trophy? From what we've seen so far, we are all hopeful. This is perhaps the best bowling attack that India has had in a long time. So far from evidence, they are the most potent. But at the end of the show, once again, thank you very much, the Mullik family and Brotindro in particular, for hosting us here at Marble Palace. It's been a tremendous experience to come here, just like it has been to watch the Indian cricket team. But here's a package that will make you feel good about sport. It's not simply ruthless war, as George Orwell would want us to believe. It's not war minus the shooting. He's got a wicket, he's got 50 runs, and he was actually gesturing to his wife, inquiring about their young daughter, celebrating Virat Kohli and the human side of sport. We leave you with these visuals because ultimately these are all men. These are all young people trying to do something for the country. If something goes wrong, think about these visuals and don't be too harsh. Yes, be sad, be disappointed, but don't turn abusive. From Marble Palace, for the last time, thank you very much to everybody, Brotindro Mullik, Rajaraman, Shormishtha, Ishan and Gargi, and to my entire team behind this production, to everyone who watches us, to everyone who supports the Indian cricket team. Keep supporting and look at this package. We think our sportsmen are gladiators, but also they are human beings. They are husbands, they are fathers, and of course, they are men of blood and passion. When you see these photographs of Virat Kohli, you will understand what I mean. He might be there doing duty for India, but he's also a father who's worrying about his child. And maybe that's why he's asking his wife if the young one has eaten or has gone to sleep. This is what makes sport what it is. These people are people of life and blood, and these are the people we love. On Diwali, when India is winning, we are also celebrating human emotion of the very best kind. And Virat Kohli and his family stands for that. Look at these pictures and think that this is the India of your dreams. An India which respects each other, an India which loves each other, an India that we are all proud of.